Good morning, students. In the last class, we discussed about simplex telephone circuit and half duplex with the side tone. And one more topic is basic switch. About basic switch. Okay. Now in this class, we'll discuss about the advantages of automatic switching. Because so far what we discuss about only the manual switching and its drawback. To overcome those drawbacks, we are going for automatic switching. In automatic switching, the advantage is it is language independent because there is no operator. Okay, no need to command anything. Therefore, the first advantage is it is language independent. The next one is it is having great degree of privacy because of there is no operator. And third one is establishment and release of calls is very fast when compared with the manual switching system. So because of these advantages, we are moving to automatic switching systems. In automatic, again, two types are there: electromechanical and electronic, right? Electromechanical and electronic. In electromechanical, again, two types are there. One is called as Strauzer system, another one is called as crossbar. In this today's class, we will discuss about the operation of Strauzer switching system. Okay. Now, Strauzer switching system. So, whenever we are going for automation, to identify subscriber on the line, we require some numbering scheme. Therefore, any automatic switching exchange should use an uniform numbering scheme. That is the first point. Second point is how to identify the numbers. What is the mechanism to identify the numbers? There are two mechanisms are there. One is called as pulse dialing and multi-frequency dialing. With the help of these two methods, a subscriber can be easily identified on the exchange. Okay. Now in this class, we will see how the pulse dialing works. So this is an example of rotary dial telephone is an example for pulse dialing. Okay. Here you can see an example. It contains some digits, right? 1, 2, 3 up to some 0. Okay. In case of pulse dialing, if you are trying to dial 1, it is going to generate 1 pulse. If you are going to dial 2, it is going to generate 2 pulses. For 3 pulses. For 0, it is going to generate 10 pulses. So how these pulses are generated? Okay. So for that, the telephone exchange should supply a battery source of 50 volts to the subscriber end. Okay. It is a DC voltage. It is DC. A DC of 50 volts should be sent by the central office exchange to the subscriber whenever the person hook off his telephone set. Therefore, it is going to send some current of 23 to 25 milliamperes of current to the subscriber end, a DC current. Okay. In that case, whenever I am dialing a digit 1, what happens? It is going to close, or it is called as making and breaking of circuit. It is going to create making and breaking of circuit. Therefore, for some duration, the DC current is 0, and for some duration, the DC current is high. In this way, it is going to create the pulses. Okay, this is a mechanism inside how to generate the pulses using a rotary dial telephone set. Now, we see an example. So this is my example where I dial 3 digits, digit 3. So for 3, when I am dialing digit 3, it has to send 3 pulses. So this is the first pulse, this is the second pulse, and this is the third pulse. Okay. By generating these pulses, the pulse width must be 100 milliseconds. In this 100 milliseconds, the duty cycle is 0.3 tau. You can call it as for 0.3, that means for 30 milliseconds it should be turned on, and for 70 milliseconds it should be turned off, so that it is going to generate a pulse of 100 milliseconds. Okay. Now, after dialing digit 3, I want to dial digit number 4. So, there should be a time gap of 200 milliseconds between two corresponding digits. This is called as inter-digit gap. Inter-digit gap. So, this time is very much required to identify the numbers, because if I am not providing this inter-digit gap, then what happens? The system may not understand what the number is dialed. It is 3 or 4. So, to overcome that problem, for each and every digit, after each and every digit, it is going to provide a 200 milliseconds time delay. Okay. So, this is the way how to generate the pulses using a rotary dial telephone set. If it is 0 means it is going to generate 10 such pulses. Okay. And the next one is, okay, we are dialing some number, but we should know what are the signaling tones that are to be generated by an exchange to carry the information between the calling and call subscriber. Those are called as dial tones, ring tones, and call in process tones. These tones must be generated by the exchange and should be transmitted to the calling and call subscriber based upon the event. So, when we have to send this dial tone, whenever a person hook off his telephone set, the exchange has to identify it and it has to send a dial tone, because the subscriber should dial number, right? I want to dial some 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I want to dial some number 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I can dial this number only when I hear this dial tone. That is, it is indication for the subscriber that you can start dialing the number. Okay. So before getting this dial tone, if I dial any digits, that digit will be lost. So we should dial the digit only after hearing this dial tone. Okay. To generate this dial tone, they are going to produce a signal of 33 or 50 or 400 Hz based upon the country norms. They are going to use either 33 megahertz signal or 50 Hz signal or 400 megahertz continuous signal as a dial tone. Next one is ringtone. What is meaning of ringtone? I call some subscriber 1, 2, 3, 4. How he know that he is getting a call? This exchange must send a ringtone to the subscriber, so that he can able to understand that he is getting a call. Okay. This is the waveform of a ringtone. They are going to send a signal of duration 0.4 seconds and giving a gap of 0.2 seconds. Again, a duration of 0.4 seconds and a long gap of 2 seconds. This entire waveform is for a ringtone. Okay. Now, what is third one? Call in progress tone. For example, A is talking with B. At the same time, C want to make a call to B. Already B is in call, right? So, the exchange should give some indication to the subscriber C that B is talking with some other person. That is called as call in progress tone. Therefore, the C can able to understand that okay, B is busy. Okay. So, for generating this call in progress tone, this is the mechanism. A signal of 0.5 seconds gap and a duration of 2.5 seconds, they are going to send a signal of 400 Hz, later again a 0.5 second gap. This is the waveforms for dial tone, ring tone and signaling tones. So these are the typical signaling tones generated by the automatic exchanges to alert the subscribers for dialing as well as for receiving a call or if he is busy. Okay. Now we'll see the operation of Strauger step-by-step switching. Okay. Actually, this is not in the syllabus, but to understand crossbar switching system, you should know the principle and operation of Strauger. Okay. This Strauger uses uniselector switches and two motion selector switches for its operation. So first we'll see what is the how this uniselector as well as two motion selector switches will operate. So this is the uniselector. What is the meaning of uniselector? Uniselector means it is going to move in only one direction. Always the uniselector switch moves in a horizontal direction only. One way motion. Okay. So whenever the person hook off his telephone, hook off, what happens? This is called a wiper. It is going to search for a free outlet. We call them as outlets. 0 to 10 are called as outlets. So you can see like this. This is a uniselector switch, one inlet and 10 outlets. One inlet and 10 outlets. So whenever the subscriber hook off his telephone set, this wiper is going to hunt for a free outlet, because these outlets may be used by some other persons. Whenever it identifies one free outlet, for example, out of these 10 outlets, this wiper found that this has a free outlet. What happens if all outlets are busy? In that case, the subscriber cannot able to get a connection. Okay, until unless one of the outlet is free, then only we can able to establish a connection between calling and call subscriber. Okay, this is the operation of a uniselector switch. Now coming to the two motion, the name itself indicates two motion. This wiper will move in two directions. One is in vertical direction, another one is along horizontal direction. Clear? Since the wiper is moving in all the directions, it is called as two motion selector switches. So in this mechanism, we call the vertical as levels. The vertical motion of wiper is known as levels. Level 0, level 1, level 2 and so on, some level 10. And the horizontal points are called as contacts. Okay. In these two motion selector switches, the vertical are called as levels and horizontal are called as contacts. For example, my objective is to get a 1-2 connection. So how this 1-2 connection means, this wiper has to move to the level. First one indicates the level and second one indicates the contact point. Okay. So here this is level 0 and level 1. So this wiper is going to move vertically from level 0 to level 1 and make the contact with the second one. So this is the connection. The wiper will settle here. Got the point? This is called as a two motion selector switch. Now we see the exact mechanism how this step-by-step Strauger system will operate. My objective is, I want to call a subscriber having a numbering of 345, 5345, 5345. Now, any system, the system contains totally three parts. One is called as a selector hunter, this is called as a group selector, and this is called as a final selector switch. To establish a connection between calling and call subscriber, this is the entire mechanism. It contains a selector hunter, a group selector, and a final selector. This group selector may contains one or more number of selectors, number of two motion selectors. Here, to establish a connection between calling and call subscriber A and B. Okay, it may cross one or more number of two motion selector switches based upon the distance. Okay, in this case, the example is it contains only two motion selector switches, and last one is the final selector switch. Okay. For example, if it contains three two motion selector switches, in that case, what will be the number? This is 5, 3, right? The first two indicates the location contact points of the first and second selector switches. If it contains 3 means 5, 3, 4, 4, 5. 4, 5 is the final number of the subscriber, and 5, 3, 4 is the path through which he is going to connect to the subscriber. Clear? Got the point? This number is not fixed. It is not fixed number. Based upon the route, the number of digits may vary. Clear? So in this example, when I am dialing 5, I want first what I have to do? I have to hook up the telephone set. Then what happens? This particular Viper is going to verify for a free outlet. That is called as a select hunter or selector finder. Clear? So whenever it obtains one free outlet, then only it can able to establish a connection between calling and call subscriber. Otherwise, this user call is not connected. Okay. The first point is whenever the calling subscriber hook off his telephone set, then this Viper is hunting for a free outlet. This mechanism is called as a pre-selector, or it is also called as a selector finder. Once the selector selects some outlet, then the first number is what? 5. Therefore, it is going to search for this Viper will move vertically until it reaches 5th level. Clear? See this point? Until it reaches 5th level. In this 5th level, it may select any one of the contact point based upon the availability. It may contact 5.1 or 5.2 or 5.3 or anything based upon the availability of the contact point. In this 5th level, it may choose any one of the outlets. Right? Now, in this diagram, it selects 6th outlet. Therefore, this is the contact point 5 to 6. Now, for the next digit, it is 3. In this case, what happens? Again, this particular two more selector switches is going to verify for 3rd level. So it reaches the 3rd level. Again, in 3rd level, it may choose any one of the contact point based upon the availability. Now it is also reached. The last one is the final subscriber number. Okay. Therefore, here it is going to select for 4th level. In this, it has to select this 5th one only, 5th contact point only. Then only it can able to establish a connection to this calling subscriber. Clear? For example, if this switch is not free, if this contact point is not free, then what happens? The call will be terminated because of lack of that contact point. Clear? Because each and every subscriber is connected to a corresponding contact points. Clear? 01, 02 and so on, some 99, whatever it may be. These are the subscriber numbers. So this is called as a final selector switch because it is the final destination of the subscriber to whom we have to connect. So this is the mechanism used in Strowger switching system for establishing a connection between calling and call subscriber with the help of a numbering scheme. Okay, in case of Strowger, some drawbacks are there. This uses a direct control. It uses a direct control mechanism. What is the meaning of direct control mechanism? To establish a connection between calling and call subscriber, the dial digit is not fixed. It depends upon the topology of the network. That we'll see in the next class. How we have to assign the number, how to dial the number. Okay. This is the process what I have explained now. Calling a 5345. User lifts the telephone set and current flows in circuit. So central office recognizes the user has lifted the phone. Therefore, the selector hunter starts moving in search for a ideal selector or a free outlet. Once the selector is connected, it sends the dial digit tones to the user. The user dials the number 5. Therefore, the selector moves vertically or the wipe moves vertically and reaches level 5. In the level 5, it is going to choose any one of the contact point, available contact points. Then later, it is going to select for 4th level. In that, it is going to choose any one of the contact points. After that, it is going to select the last one as a contact point. Okay. So finally, it is going to establish a connection between calling in call subscriber whose number is 5345. If any point in, so if no field line is available, then what happens? It is going to send a busy signal to the calling subscriber. Okay. Disadvantages. So in case of Strowger, so before explaining this, I will show you one more video. So this video explains the operation of motion of your selector switches. Just go through this video for 2 minutes, then we will discuss the disadvantages. So step-by-step switching exchange model. So they are the selector switches. So you see here, in this example, they want to dial 85. Okay, they want to connect a subscriber whose number is 85. See here, the selector switches moves. So at the end of the class, I am going to post the link of this video in the comments. You can watch it clearly if it is not visible. The main point we will hold here is the motion of your selector switches. You can see how it is moving horizontally and how it is moving vertically. See, now it is moving vertically, right? You can see here also. See, it is moving vertically and horizontally. This is the working of two motion selector switch. See, moving vertically and horizontally. So it is a two motion selector switch, which is present at the group selectors as well as at final selector. So if you observe clearly, it contains more number of moving parts. So as it contains more number of moving parts, the device may damage quickly. So frequent maintenance is required in case of Strowger switching systems. At the end of the video, you can see also the horizontal motion, that is uniselector motion also you can see. So wait for a minute, you can see that. How the uniselector switches will operate. So don't worry about the video. If even it is not visible, I will post the link in the YouTube. Okay. Okay. So this is the working principle of Strowger switching system, which uses uniselectors and two motion selector switches to establish a connection between calling and call subscriber. Okay, so there are the drawbacks. What is the drawback? So lot of moving points are there. So lot of moving points are there. So it requires regular maintenance. One more thing is low system lifetime. Right? Next one is capacity. If the number of codes increases, then the length of your switching system increases. One more thing is, so the Strowger accepts only 7 to 9 pulses per second. Therefore, dialing rate is slow. That means fast dialing is not possible in case of a Strowger switching system which uses a rotary dial telephone sets. If we want to increase the dialing time, then you have to go for DTMF, dual tone multi-frequency technique. But if I am using DTMF means again I have to use a pulse dialing mechanism because the Strowger operates only on pulse dialing. Therefore, again I have to use a DTMF to pulse dialing converter. Therefore, the hardware increases. So there are drawbacks in a Strowger switching system. Okay, thank you.